Hey there, welcome to Things Dan's Way. So if you saw that thumbnail and that warning about an oil change being required, you probably own one of these Cmaxes and you've realized like you don't have to change the oil in this car hardly ever because it runs on the battery and the electric motor so much. But it does eventually come up and tell you, okay, it's time to change the oil. That's what I finally got, as you see there. And so today I'm just going to do that real quick. If you know how to do an oil change, this is a very, very basic process. On this car, the only real differences are, one, it has a whole bottom panel and the car sits so low to the ground, you do have to either run it up on ramps or jack up one side so you can get underneath there. But it does have that whole bottom plate you have to remove, so that's kind of step one. After that, you're just draining oil and you are putting in a new filter, fill it back up with oil. So there's nothing like super special about this car, even though it's an electric car and everything. It really is just a standard internal combustion engine. So don't let it stress you out. And then of course, I'll show you in a minute how to reset the display to say, okay, you have changed the oil.
Okay, so tools I used on this job. I used a 15-30 seconds X bit out of this set. I used a 15 millimeter wrench and a second one to add torque so I could break free that bolt. Oil wrench. Of course, you need a oil filter. I suggest getting a good one. One rate of 10,000 miles is perfect. And then on this car, because I'm over 100,000 miles, I use the full synthetic high mileage from O'Reilly's. Sorry, the 5W20 oil. It's the right one, not the 5W30. First step is remove the cover. So you got a series of screws to remove all around the perimeter. It's just clips in the back. So go ahead and drop this out first. Okay, so under the car, this is the passenger side over here. Here's the water pump. Here is your oil filter. And here's the drain plug right here for the oil. So it's all kind of on this passenger side of the motor. Right there. You really can't do this without taking that bottom cover off. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and drain the oil and then pull off the filter, replace it, and go from there. The last time I changed this, the car was at 113,000 miles, and this was back in 21. The car currently has 122. And I used 4.5 liters of oil, full synthetic high mileage. And I use the MicroGuard Select filter. Don't use the standard MicroGuard. It's really, really crappy filter. So if you can't get to this bolt with a typical socket wrench because it's too deep, so you'll have to use a 15 millimeter wrench. But if this is too tight for you to get off, which it was for me, with just one wrench, like, couldn't get them off, come over here like this, take a second wrench that has the end like so, and you just hook it on there like that, right? But then when you get to this point here, you end up with basically this real long wrench. And now from here, way out here, now we can pull on it and break it free. Most of the oil drained out now. Let's see, get this drained, put the nut back on, and we'll come over here and get this oil filter out. Now this is another place where having the right tool makes a big difference. If you have one of these kinds of oil filter removal tools that's straight, you come in here and there's just so much in the way, it's hard to put it on there. But if you get one like this, it's got this nice, fun little angled handle on it. Now, you can't use this one-handed very well, but this just lets you torque on it to tighten it, but then you've got the handle coming straight down at you. So it's just a way easier tool to use. So I'll stick links to these fun things in my description down below. Now you want to do yourself a huge favor, go ahead and write all the details of this oil change on the filter itself. So next time you do one, you know what you used, how much oil it was, so you don't have to go back to the user's guide every single time. Also, what oil it was and what the mileage was. Just put a drop of that oil on this seal just to make it slip easy. So when we screw this on, we can just hand tighten. That's it. And let's put the bottom back on. Don't forget there's a tab here And tab here, you want to start getting those under. Once those are under, the rest of it should line up pretty nicely. Okay, so once they're all hand started, then you know the whole thing, can float. You haven't tightened one, then you couldn't get the other one to stretch just right. So just put them all in loose like this, and then run around the whole perimeter and tighten them down. Okay, we're done under here, so let's head up top. So up here, we're going to fill this with 4.5 quarts of 5W20, and we're going to check the dipstick, which is right next to it. Then we're going to take a test drive for 5 minutes around the block, come back, double check that we're within range on the oil. Double check we don't have any leaks, and we should be good to go. So the last step of this process is to reset the oil change required light or display. We're just going to not press on the brake, but turn the car on. And then we're going to press on both the brake and the gas pedal at the same time and just hold them all the way down. And we'll just see. Service oil reset in progress. And just continue to hold it. Service oil reset complete. So that only took about 15 seconds to pop up with that. And now you can release and press and hold the brake and start the car. And the car is ready to drive with no more service warnings. That's it, guys. That's all there is to the process of changing your oil. We got everything reset and we're good to go for another 10,000 plus miles. So you can hit up other videos here on the Cmax. I've done a lot of videos on this car. It's getting older. Things are starting to fall apart. So that's just the reality. It is a Ford Fix or Repair Daily. And of course, smash my face to subscribe right here. And until next time, guys, be blessed.